Come on, you guys, let's show 'em how to party ponyville style. Come on, you guys, let's show 'em how to party on the go.
Hello and welcome to the Canterlot Voice. This is your host, Brained by Saucepans, and we are recording today on the 11th of November 2012, Remembrance Sunday, everybody. So I hope you all observed today's 2-minute silence. Joining me today, we've got Nemesis Pony, also known as Mecha Shockwave or Nemi.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Nemi. And we also have a very special guest today, someone we've mentioned several times on the podcast previously. It is Lavine Moonlight. Welcome, Lavine.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Yay.
Oh, God.
I'm sitting here with a big steaming mug of Lemsip, because I have a rather nasty cold, which thankfully hasn't affected my voice too adversely, but you can probably hear a sort of slightly more nasal tone to me than is usually evident.
Definitely.
Some nice artwork flashing up on the screen, wondering which fantastic artist from Canterlot is responsible for this.
You flatter me.
It's my job. The job I find very easy, because your work is worth flattery.
You know, everyone says that, but I don't think so. It's not that great.
Living Moonlight. When I opened that requests thread I did, and you were the first one to accept mine, I just want to thank you for that. Again, the whole Nemesis Octavia one. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a biggest fan, I swear. But anyways, yes, thank you for that.
It's no problem at all. That's pretty much my life on Canterlot.
My personal favourite of your piece is the offhand Discord style request you did for Mr. Chippy. I just love it so much.
Open Discord style. That is really a brilliant piece of work, that.
Right, so first news item we have today, we have the Brony Thank You Fund. The commercial has been aired. Did either of you get a chance to see that?
It wasn't what I expected, but it was still pretty interesting.
A lot of representation from the military, which is nice to see, especially considering what day it is today.
I actually have not seen it yet, which is probably a bad thing.
Anyway, the advert itself is pretty well put together. It's just a cross section of bronies from around the world, just saying their piece, saying thank you very much to the creators of the show. A much deserved thank you, I might add. I think it's important to note that the Thank You Fund is still going on. You can still donate to the Thank You Fund. They're actually raising funds for the Derpy Hooves Animation Scholarship at Cal Arts.
Hold on a minute. Derpy Hooves Animation Scholarship?
Yes.
That is the greatest name in the known universe.
I know. It is fantastic, and I think it's a really worthy cause, because there's a lot of people who would, I'm sure, love to break into animation, but just don't have the funds. And well done to the people behind the Thank You Fund for making what I think is the right choice, because education very important. And for more information, you can see our links up in the show notes.
Oh yes.
The BronyCon documentary. It has been renamed. Its new title is... Would someone else like to read that?
I guess I can call it out. It is now called... Bronies, the extremely unexpected adult fans of My Little Pony. Oh my God, that's a good title.
The reasoning behind this is quite simple. They want it to be more representative of the Brony community as a whole, because not everyone got to go to BronyCon.
Okay, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They used footage from other conventions as well, and from all sorts of other sources. So they've just changed the name to reflect the content more accurately.
This is huge. This is huge.
I know. When I saw Kickstarter, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
When they were doing that Kickstarter, how much they raised, I was like, my head got blown off, got launched into the sun, came back again. I was really surprised at how much they raised for it, and just more accurate title and a lot of support. Good on you.
They're really doing a good job with it, so
Oh, definitely.
can't wait to see
Can't
that.
wait to see it.
Yep, we have the My Little Pony game for Android and iOS is now available. Have you got a phone that can play it? And if so, have you given it a play?
Of course, I've been playing it ever since it came out. I don't have it on my phone. I have it on my tablet, and it's addictive, to say the least.
It really is. There's three things you should know about it. There's the bad news, the good news, and the terrible news. The bad news is it is pretty much a Farmville clone. But the good news is that it's an extremely well-made Farmville clone. When they've added in some fun mini games, and it's got the full voice cast from the show.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Yep.
Ah, sweet.
And here's the terrible news. Like you'd expect from a Farmville clone, it's addictive.
Oh dear. Not addicting. No.
I am playing it right now. No, I'm not. That would be unprofessional. I'm actually not. I'm not playing it right now, but I want to be. I want to be so much. The one downside at the moment is the Android version. They seem to have sort of let it down a bit on the social front because the social side doesn't work at all for me on the Android version. Are you on Android or iOS?
Android.
And have you been able to connect to any social networks?
No, I haven't actually. Except the one that they have built in is actually working, but it's kind of iffy.
It sort of seems to be working for me, sort of, in that I log in. I've got some friends on the sort of inbuilt social network, but my friends from that haven't actually been added into the game itself. So hopefully that's a bug they'll be fixing soon. That's kind of where these games get their replayability is by actually being able to play with other people.
Yeah.
It would be pretty silly of them if they didn't fix that. Standard question: how did you get into My Little Pony?
I've actually been on Bronies since before we were even called Bronies.
Oh.
Back when My Little Pony Tales and My Pretty Pony were out. I've been around for a while.
That's pretty unique, actually. Well, not unique, but there's quite a few of you out there, and it's good. I personally have not seen much of the stuff before now, though. So, what was it like before the current generation?
It's pretty much like what you would expect from Hasbro. Really girly, and there's really no other way to explain it. It was really girly, but for some reason I liked it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Favorite pony?
Twilight Sparkle, no doubt about it.
Ah!
Twilight Sparkle.
That's a popular choice.
Yes.
Now it all comes together.
So why is Twilight your favorite?
She's purple, and she's just awesome.
The power of purple is a universal constant. What was your favorite episode of the season so far, then? Not including season 3, because we're getting to that in a minute.
Hearts and Hooves Day.
Hearts and Hooves Day.
Yes.
That is actually a very good episode in my opinion. It's one that doesn't get enough love.
Ironically.
So an episode about love not being much loved. How have you been enjoying Canterlot so far? What has your Canterlot experience been like? Sum it up for me.
It's been interesting. There's really no way I can sum it up any other way.
Alright, and what's your favourite section of the site? I know this is a very obvious question.
The only section I've ever been in, creative section, of course.
Yeah, the creative section is pretty darn amazing, because
Pretty awesome.
as we've said before, there are some amazing artists on this site, definitely including yourself in this, because as much as you might not like to admit it, you're one of the outstanding artists on this site.
And I will continue to deny that.
You have a distinctive style, which is a bit more stylized than the show itself. Everything looks sort of fluffy and active and expressive. An artist who can actually give expression to the characters they draw, and you do that brilliantly. Let's get into a bit more technical details. So, what sort of tools and software do you use to create your work?
These days I'm just using a plain old tablet. Actually, Cryptchild turned me on to using Paint Tool Sai, so I've been using that most of the time.
Just to say, once again, Cryptchild has made his or her way into our podcast.
This is quickly becoming the Cryptchild Appreciation Society here.
I give up. I give up.
It's getting ridiculous. Cryptchild, just stop worming your way in here. Either come on the show or get out. We're fed up with you. You and your evangelizing of Paint Tool Psy and your awesome artwork and your stuff with the things. My words are failing now.
I have to agree that Paint Tool Psy is, well, a nice piece to use, actually. It's pretty cool.
It's very useful, and Cryptchild has been very evangelical about spreading the word about it. Now, I've got a feeling now, given that last section, that I know what the answer to this is going to be, but I'm hoping you'll surprise me. Who's your favourite artist on Canterlot?
Oh, God. I don't want to say anything because then I'll feel like I might get a lot of hate mail.
You wonon't get hate mail.
I'm going to go with Brian Blackberry.
Ah, interesting.
Yes.
Good choice, though, because Brian's pretty incredible as well.
Pretty awesome.
Once again, it's always good to suck up to the gallery mod. We love you, Brian! I've got a bit of a different question for you if you're anything like me. What's the favourite piece that you've ever drawn? What's your favourite piece of your own work?
Is it okay if I say none of them?
No.
You must pick
one.
I'm feeling pressured.
Good.
I'm going to say buns are my specialty, yeah. And because it's different from everything I've drawn.
I do love the shading on it. It looks very sort of watercolour-esque. It's very sort of pastel-y as well.
Really, I guess, calming of some sort. I mean, just the way you've coloured it, shaded it and stuff. Well, it feels like I'm floating in the clouds when I look at it.
How did you get into art in the first place? Did you just pick up a pen one day and just decide give it a try, or?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. But I've been drawing since I was 3, which sounds crazy, but I kid you not, it is true.
Wow.
That is impressive, and the practice does show in your work. I'm assuming it's pretty natural progression from drawing since you were 3 to drawing ponies. How long have you been drawing ponies?
About a year. Yeah, about a year. Which is unfortunate, because, I mean, ponies.
What?
Yeah, you should have been drawing ponies much earlier. I think we can all agree on that. Do you have any sort of tips that you've got for anyone who wants to start drawing themselves but just doesn't know where to start? And what should they do?
I've given plenty of speeches on this, but all I can say is you need to practice. Whether you have talent or you're just going off of skill, you just need to practice. Just pick up a pencil, pen, tablet, mouse, whatever, and just go for it.
Okay. I think we've got to move on to our final question now. That is, of course, what is your favourite muffin?
Muffin.
You've heard the show before, surely. You knew this was coming. Don't deny it.
I've only heard the muffin question once. I've only heard the muffin question once. A muffin that tastes like an eggplant.
Oh my god.
A muffin that tastes like an eggplant.
Let's just move on right now to the discussion.
Oh my goodness.
Because I have said my piece on this subject, and I'm not going to get into this debate again.
All right, fine. Blueberry muffins.
If you have not seen Season 3, Episode 1 and 2 so far, I'm going to ask Tenkan when he edits this. If you don't want any spoilers,
please skip to 23 minutes and 13 seconds.
It may have come to certain people's attention that a certain show was aired.
Oh, really? What show would that be?
That would be a little show called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Apparently it's starting its 3rd season.
You don't say.
Oh, wow, really? I never would have thought about that.
And the first couple of episodes were aired yesterday. And I think it's fair to say that all 3 of us enjoyed it.
Without a doubt, yes.
Oh, definitely.
And before we move on, this is a Gack-free zone. There will be no further mention of Gack.
Ooh. But Gack is best pony.
Gack is best pony, that's why we're not discussing it any further. Any further discussion is obsolete. We might as well talk about things that are actually debatable.
First thing I just want to say, main villain for this pilot of this new season, very little screen time.
Crystal Heart.
That was pretty much his vocabulary through it.
Those are his only lines. I can't remember his actual name. I'm just calling him Sombrero.
It's King
Yeah,
Sombra.
that's
King-
pretty.
King
Oh, Sombra. Okay.
Sombra. Ah, okay.
I am a King of Sombra, the king of the... or something like that, I don't know.
All the villains have had some kind of depth or motivation, even Discord. I know people say Discord's just random, but there's motivation behind the randomness. He's chaos incarnate. We know that about him. And plus, he's got revenge. He's been trapped. He's been imprisoned in stone for 1,000 years. That's sort of a legitimate grievance. Well, hardly legitimate, but you see where I'm coming from. Instead, we get Crystal Heart, which, yeah, he looks evil, but up till now I've kind of learned to expect a bit more from ponies.
Is it just me, or were those crystal ponies, when they got their crystaliness back, a little bit see-through?
Yes, they were indeed, and
Yeah.
I have to say it didn't entirely gel stylistically with the rest of the style of the show. Even before they got the crystal back, they looked more sort of 3D, especially the mains.
Yeah.
And that's it. It looked good, but it kind of made the rest of it look a little less visually interesting. If you see my point there. One thing that stood out as pretty good in my book: new songs.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the new songs were pretty catchy, and they were foot tappers, to say the least.
Definitely. And we got Spike singing and Applejack singing again, which has been pretty rare.
Oh yes, it's. I think I've only heard Applejack sing twice. I don't remember hearing her singing in the second season.
Not very much to my memory. I can't actually remember any songs where she was singing. Of course, we're probably gonna get lots of people to point out saying no, Applejack sang all the time and we're wrong. But hey, if we're wrong, we're definitively wrong.
The only time I remember her singing was from the winter wrap-up song back in season 1,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and that's about it.
But no, she sang again, and Spike got his vocal debut in a singing sense, which was, I saw the stream I was watching when it aired live. I saw a lot of people saying "Shut up, Spike," but no, I think it worked.
It did work.
It was a welcome change.
Yeah.
It was different.
What was certainly a welcome change was Spike being ultimately the one to save the Crystal Empire.
Yes.
He even got like the glass window in Celestia's
He's got his
castle.
own window. He's going to be insufferable about that from this episode on.
Yeah. They're never gonna bring it up again.
No, they won't. I know. Something else that got brought up went on to become a discussion topic on the forums. Celestia. She really needs to start telling people about the history of Equestria, because this kind of stuff's getting old now.
No, I'm not going to tell you. You must find it out for yourself, because apparently I have tons of history books, but I just don't want you to read them.
No, and this has spawned a discussion how the cult of personality. I love that username, by the way. has made a post basically saying that Equestria history is pretty much lost, and it's all pretty much in Celestia and Luna's heads, and they don't seem very keen on sharing their information. Some speculation about how evil Celestia really is, which is a pretty common discussion in the My Little Pony community. Although I wouldn't go so far as to call it evil. Controlling information is, in my opinion, a perfectly legitimate strategy. I'll put a link to that discussion in the show notes, and people can chip in with their own views on that.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to hear from ya.
Another thing from the intro, though. Is it me, or has Twilight done something to really annoy Luna?
I know!
Dirtiest look
Dirtiest look.
in that intro sequence.
Oh, maybe Luna is annoyed at Twilight because Twilight didn't say anything to her during the season 2 final. Because Luna said, "Be on your guard, Twilight Sparkle," and Twilight just didn't say anything back in return. Like, how dare you do not speak to us?
How dare you not speak to us?
Oh God, the
Tell them
Canterlot voice. There goes my eardrums.
One thing that has been noted a lot is that by me at least, I say noted a lot, but I noticed this a lot, is that all the characters do seem to have been exaggerated, and they all came up at certain points in the episode. All of the main six came off as caricatures of themselves. apart from Pinkie Pie, because it's impossible to exaggerate Pinkie Pie any more than she already is, and we love her for that. But all the other characters, they did seem to have had their characters reset slightly, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Rainbow Dash being a bit more abrasive, shall we say, than she has been recently, and Twilight gone back to complete OCD about the whole. That's kind of Celestia's fault, actually, because Celestia did say, "Oh yes, this is a test, and the only way to pass the test is for you to solve this personally." Celestia, that was trolling. That's just pure trolling there. I do think the character exaggeration is understandable, considering the point of a season premiere, which is to re-establish the characters in people's heads. So I think that works.
Ultimate trolling initiated. At the very end of the premiere episodes, like, Celestia and Luna have a book, and I have a feeling that something's going to happen to Twilight. Something's going to happen to Celestia and Luna, and I think King Sombra might return, given his very limited screen time and very little vocabulary and stuff.
Yeah. The thing that's got me most excited is, have you any of you heard of the saying "status quo is God"?
I have, yeah.
No.
If you want to waste a good deal of time, I highly recommend going to a site called tvtropes.org. They basically discuss various common features in fiction, and one of the pages they've got is on status quo is God. You've got series where after every episode, everything has to be reset to how it was before. That's how My Little Pony has been up to now, up to a certain extent. I mean, there's been some sort of continuity, but mainly episode order doesn't particularly matter. What I'm kind of hoping for is that we're going to start seeing a bit more episode-to-episode continuity. That's what that book sort of indicated to me.
Interesting.
I am personally hopeful to see what they do with more continuity.
My favourite moment was actually when the Crystal Empire got fully repowered again at the end. King Sombra just got into thousands of pieces.
That was pretty epic. Living?
When Twilight did the anti-gravity spell and was sliding down the steps backwards.
That was pretty cool. That was just a lovely little visual setup for that as well.
Yeah.
It worked really well. My favourite moment though, it's a Pinkie Pie moment.
Oh,
and it's just the moment where Fluttershy just walks on and suddenly, where did Pinkie Pie get a Fluttershy costume? I want to know.
It's Pinkie Pie. Don't try to question Pinkie Pie. Never, ever question Pinkie Pie.
Overall, though, I think we can agree. Good opening to season 3, and I'm looking forward to see where they go next.
Me too.
A couple of creative threads we want to quickly talk about here. First off, the Great and Powerful Music Maker, or TGAP Trixie. And this is quite an old thread. Dates back to September 2011.
pretty old.
But it's recently become active again, and there's some fantastic music on there from Trixie. So I highly recommend checking that out.
Please do, it's pretty cool.
Sonic Rainbow Girl has a request thread up. Give it a look.
She does good work, pretty nice images.
Amazing artwork.
This is going to be a bit abbreviated this week because we've had an extended discussion on Season 3. A massive proportion of Canterlot is the role-playing. We've sort of glossed over that in the past on Canterlot Voice, and that's really shooting ourselves in the foot here. There's so many role-players on this site, and we want to talk about you guys as well because there's some fantastic stuff going on there. So, in future, if you think there's a role-play thread going on that you'd like highlighted in the next show, let us know. We'll talk about it. First off, Nightmare Night. Pretty interesting. It's an unofficial event.
Oh, you mean the one by My Little Pony Tales?
Yeah, My Little Pony Tales put on an unofficial Nightmare Night event, which is just some trick or treating with your OCs. I'm not sure if the winner's gone up, but depending on which location you go, you'd get tricked or treated by a various character. I think it's finished now, but I haven't seen any official results for that, so I don't know who won that. However, there's also a pretty big official event starting starting now, as a matter of fact, the Running of the Leaves 2012.
Yes.
This has begun. Don't worry if you're not involved yet. You can still get involved. Click on the link in the show notes to find out some more detail, if by some chance you're a role player who doesn't know about this already. But it looks to be a lot of fun. I wish I had a character who's suitable for this, but as of yet, I need to get into role playing myself some more.
Yeah.
But yes, it looks to be good fun, and I'm looking forward to see if someone can unseat Diego Havocus, reigning champion. Lyra won last year, I believe. So let's see what happens this year. Finally, moving on to the shout-outs this week. First off, Nemi.
I already did my shout out to Living Moonlight when we were doing the featured artist. I was just saying thank you for the request that.
Do it again!
Well, Living Moonlight, thank you very much for doing that request of my OC and Octavia, because I totally don't have a problem.
Of course. It's quite alright. It's what I do best.
You do it with style, sir. With style!
Indeed.
And I believe you had a shout-out as well, Lovine?
Well, where do I begin? I just want to give a shout out to everyone who's ever been in my request thread. Without you all, I wouldn't be as good of an artist as I am today. Not saying that I'm that great. Just thank you for taking interest in me, and I will continue to be your art slave.
Good.
Well, here's to what you're doing now, and here's to many more wonderful pieces of work you're going to put up in the future.
Thank you very much.
Here's to that. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone, this week. This has been your Canterlot Voice, episode 16. I hope you found this sufficiently gack-free. And see you all the next episode.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye!
Bye.